Hello, my name is Ulli Haslacher, and I'm the president of More Skincare. Yesterday, a lot of people asked me if my background is science or wellness, and actually my background is direct response. And direct response is direct to consumer before e-commerce started. So what I found very interesting when I was invited the first time to be part of Mediapost, that there were absolute nobody there from direct response TV, which is QVC, HSN, nobody from Gussie Ranker, from Andy Kubani, nobody from the industry, and that there is really two silos in direct to consumer, which is e-commerce, which kind of looks a little bit down on us, which is the parents of e-commerce, which is direct response, infomercial, and QVC and HSN. A lot of the brands that you know and you see today in retail, especially out of beauty, have been created on QVC or HSN or on an infomercial. So how many of the brands here do business with QVC or HSN? Wow, 0, which, when we are talking about legendary brands and branded brands and how you get this little bit more of pricing that you can charge because you are a brand, that's what QVC is all about. It's a beautiful platform. It's made for women, so it looks much better and feels much better than Amazon, and you only get brands, so you buy branded. And literally every brand that I have seen here, I could imagine on QVC tomorrow. And actually, when I was in Austin, I was able to get some of the brands already on QVC that never even thought about going on QVC. So that's all being said. I used, many years ago, because I'm doing a lot in beauty and wellness, I have done a lot of celebrity brands with QVC. I thought about the concept of matching skincare to the climate. And when I talked about this in 2009, 2010, to my customers who were looking for new brands, to create new brands, for their brands, new categories, new kind of, sub-brands, I found many of the big companies telling me that the American consumer will never care about climate. It will be nothing that will be ever talked about. It will be too difficult for the consumer to understand that climate personally affects them. And I really could not agree more, because the first clinical studies were coming out that showed that the outer skin actually works with the climate you are in. It doesn't work from the dermis that we thought before when moisturizing per skin type. It is actually the environment, humidity, temperature, elevation, UV light, how much UV light you are getting, so how long is the day, summer and winter, is very different, and then pollution levels. Today, it's a much, much harsher environment that we are up against. So we know today that almost 90% of signs of aging on your face, on your surface, are really done by the environment and the climate you are in. If you treat the skin, we have the technology in skincare, which is called biomimetic formulation. If you treat it per the climate you are in, your skin actually recovers very quickly. So, but it is a complete new learning for the customer. And so I thought I'm going to bring it to home shopping to really test it out. And why did I do that? Because home shopping is designed to sell products. If you cannot sell it on home shopping because you have an audience that is ready to buy, you cannot sell it anywhere. So what I learned is, with some of the more complex marketing concepts throughout the year that I was faced, I would always test them on home shopping first, because we often had to go back and rethink things. And there's no better audience out to test than on home shopping. Home shopping today, 2019, you can't really in the United States test anything any longer. You have to sell at least $10,000 to $25,000 a minute, so you have to have either a major celebrity that goes on, like Ellen DeGeneres, Serena Williams, or you have legendary brands that everybody knows. And today, all the big brands, especially in beauty, Lancome, iRobot, Dyson, they are all on home shopping. And so you're competing with some of the best brands for this airtime. The airtime is very valuable. So I test outside the United States, and which is still how it was in the 90s in the US, and where mostly test is either the UK, QVC UK, which now with Brexit is not a good idea anymore. So you go to Toronto, Canada, and you go on the Canadian shopping channel because it's still the North American customer, and it's very easy to test there and understand what you need to change. And we made a lot of changes. The power of home shopping is also that it's a life experience. And life is always different. You make it relevant to the moment in time you are in, so your customer is watching you. And so it's a complete different, it's a different dynamic than just making videos, where you invest in a video and you want to have that video be good in 6 months or 3 months or whatever the duration is. In home shopping, you think now, right now, what's relevant to my customer. And then it's really a shared social experience. What home shopping, QVC, and HSN figured out long before is how to engage the customer. So people call in. When people say that QVC was the original YouTube, well, it's also the original Instagram. It's the original influencer base, because it's all, these hosts at QVC were the first influencers out there. They get a followingship. I'm sure everybody here knows Lori Greiner. She's on Shark Tank. And, she has built before. She was a real influencer for QVC. She has created, many, thousands of products that she has sold. She has an audience that is really big. When she went on Shark Tank, she was immediately able to get these entrepreneurs and get them in front of a big audience so they could really sell. Just as a side note, before Lori Greiner came on, it was me who got the brands from Shark Tank on QVC. So I worked with Barbara Corcoran on her first, brands. They were all going on QVC. So regardless what you hear about the customer on QVC, it really is the female 49 and plus, and she loves to shop. She is actually a consultant, she shops a lot. And the reason why QVC was really able to keep that age group going throughout the 30 years is that they are merging audiences. So the reason why they brought on celebrities like Ellen DeGeneres, so now her audience comes over to QVC. Same things with Shark Tank. They were always involved in TV shows, trying to bring celebrities and TV shows to build the audience. When QVC bought HSN in 2017, they became the third largest e-commerce retailer in the United States. So you have Amazon, then you have Walmart, and number 3 is QVC. Because of that shopper 49 plus, a lot of people talk about cable cutting and never cable, but that consumer that QVC is going for is actually not the one that is cutting the cable yet, or never cable. That's more, males 40 and younger that are in that group. And then QVC has really invested hugely into technology, especially after 2017. And today, when you get the QVC app that a lot of women have, it's live streaming all the time. They have 35 Facebook pages. They are doing incredibly well with their, apps and everything else. So they are really very innovative in going out and selling everything. So they're becoming like an Amazon who started with books and now selling everything. So they are, QVC is moving to that as well. So here is now how it worked. I'm taking my new company as an example. I was also, the reason why I can take a little bit of time and really understand the consumer, how how to communicate this new kind of how to use skincare. It's a change of, experience skincare. And also maybe for the guys here in the room, skincare is something very personal to a woman. She's very afraid that it could damage her skin. It's a huge trust issue. It's very different than makeup, very different than putting a mask on, very different than everything. It's the hardest sell in beauty, is convincing a woman to try a new skincare line, a real new skincare line, and making a change in her habits. So it takes much more consideration. So home shopping is entertainment. If you cannot sell on home shopping, you can sell it anywhere. I went on the home shopping the first time, and that's something that I had to say. I was very, very surprised by it. I have worked my whole life with talent. I have huge respect for talent. It's very, very difficult. You have to be media trained, everything what I'm not. And they insisted that I had to go on camera because today it's all about authenticity. It's all about the founder. I was fighting it for a very long time, but I lost that fight. We actually did hire a talent, and we let her go on the first time. And then I went on with my terrible accent and with, no media training. And you will see a little clip from that first appearance that was so horrible, but we still sold out. And the talent didn't sell out. So it's really, very interesting of how the world works today. So for whatever reason, there's some kind of a yellowish shadow over it. The other clips will be better. But here we got the first checkpoint that it does sell.
You explained it to me this way, and I thought it was really fascinating, that an airplane is biomimetics. It's using the nature's wings of a bird.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So you're using what nature's doing, but harnessing it,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. What works in nature, because nature is perfect. It really works perfect. So what you want to do is you want to mimic that perfection. And what we know about the outer skin, where skincare lives, is that it actually renews itself.
So I just have an update. Did you tell me that Daryl, is it gone? It's sold out.
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
We were done in a few minutes.
Completely sold out, yes. And I want to share, I just want to invite you, please, to write reviews. Can you give the Instagram account? Because I know that you're all very active on Instagram and you do look at it and answer it. So is it just, what is the address?
Pour More Skincare.
So this is an example that we immediately knew that there is, we're going to eventually figure out to really, before we bring it out in a big way, that the customer understands it, when I talk about it. So the next thing was we wanted to make it more relevant, like when you are on Home Shopping Network, how important it is to make it relevant. The next time I went on, I had a little bit more of experience yet, but it was an interesting experience. I was actually going before. I go every 8 weeks to France, where we manufacture in France and we develop products in France. We have the lab there. And I was on my way from LAX to Paris and then going from Paris straight to Toronto. And it was the Raptors and the Warrior game. And I was at the bar just, watching it. And Kevin Durant just got injured. It was game 5. And my phone gets like a little update, and I'm reading online now also the Toronto Star, because we are in Canada, so I want to be more updated about it. And boom, it comes up, best new moisturizer 2019, Pour More Skincare. And I literally thought somebody punked me because I didn't think that that could be possible during the game. Well, I used it. I made a screenshot right away, and then I used it on the show. And this is how you bring something and make it relevant in that moment.
First, I want to share something with you. So you can only imagine that beautiful blonde woman who you just saw there, who's live in studio with us, Ulli. She's watching, game 5 of the Raptors.
Yes.
Right, Ulli? Come on in and tell us.
Go Raptors. It was amazing.
And you see this that pops up on the screen that voted from the Toronto Star this is the best moisturizer of 2019, and it is in our ritual 3-day kit coming up in a few moments. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was such an exciting moment. I actually thought it was fake news. I couldn't believe it because I was sitting in LAX at the New York airport, and I was watching Game 5, and Kevin Durant just got injured, and I'm reading the Toronto Star regularly as I read the New York Times, and I got a little ding on my Facebook, and I open it up, and it says the news, as you just showed, Kevin Durant got injured, and by the way, best new moisturizer in Canada 2019 is our Tropical Day Cream. So,
well,
I just first thought somebody punked me, but it turned out it's true, actually, and, you know, the Raptors won, we are
and
number one,
best.
but it's just, the world is good.
So I went on air the day the parade was, 1 million people in Toronto. Toronto, that day that I went on, broke the merchandising record from the NBA. So it was more jerseys ever sold in Canada than ever in the United States. I sold out immediately, within a minute. So, you know, this is the power of doing something live and kind of, you know, using it for this. The next one is I put a little bit of the behind the scene that you can see how professional really the studios are. Even, you know, Canada is not to be compared with what happened actually as QVC, where you have 30 different sets with, you know, different kind of kitchens, different kinds of living rooms, outside areas. You know, it's just unbelievable. The sets that you have on QVC, but the shopping channel is, you know, is also a very nice network. Your skin is going to start working again. We often over-moisturize or under-moisturize with products that are out there.
Can you over-moisturize?
Oh, you can over-moisturize all the time. Actually, if you Google it, more and more dermatologists say start moisturizing completely. Because what happened is that your skin gets lazy. It's kind of like going with your muscles to a workout. If you have a machine that moves you, you only get like 20-25% muscle. So somebody else is taking over for the body. Not really a good thing. But when you go and you really work out, you know, you eventually get a really great, perfect, healthy, beautiful looking body. Well, skin works the same way, the outer skin.
Because your body does it better than you are.
So what I was looking for when I, you know, what my customers always hired me for was to create storytelling brands, because that's how QVC worked. You know, like a toothbrush brand came to me and said, you know, how can we be more interesting? And we put music on the toothbrush, and you know, I was able to bring Bravado in, and we did the Justin Bieber toothbrush, and we sold 12 million units in a very, very short period of time. We became Bravado's #1 licensing item. Then we put, you know, Lady Gaga on it, and we sold 0. So, you know, because you never know what sells and what doesn't. It's a very interesting. It's a very interesting, you know, the consumer space is always something of a mystery in some ways. But what I'm trying to say is when you are selling on home shopping, it was always about making it relevant how the product works in a woman's life for her. So, you know, you try to make these relationships to how you work out in the gym, that, you know, a body you have to do the workout. There's nothing, you know, the body has to build muscle by itself. Same thing how the skin works. It has to rebuild itself. There's no magic ingredients out there that will heal your skin. The skin has to heal itself. You know, so, and it's a very, very storytelling brand. So now we are the #1 engaging brand at the shopping channel in Canada. We have more people call in, more people ask questions on Facebook about how it works than any other brand that is out there. And so here is some real data that we decided to share with you guys. And this was the show on April 30th. And the other brands that were in this segment with us was, you know, the one you maybe don't know is Elizabeth Grant, because it is a home shopping brand only. They only sell on home shopping. It's from Germany originally, this brand, and it's one of their top brand. Like in Canada, it's actually their #1 brand sold. So we were the only really unknown brand. The target for this segment for the 2 hours were to generate $60,000. These are small numbers compared to the United States. As I said, in the US, depending what time slot you are in, where you are throughout the year, you have to do $10,000 to $25,000 a minute. So Canada is by far, it's much, much smaller and easier. So they are looking for a $500 a minute. So very different. So we went on with a 3-pack and a 2-pack, and there was a BOGO, buy one, get one free. And everything was on easy pay, all of the items. And so compared to the other brand, we had 28% of the airtime, and we provided 48% of all sales. We actually outsold all of these brands. We were also the most expensive item, actually, that was sold at that time, because ours was sold for $100, the 3-step, and Benefit. They had like, they had a $200 and today for $88. So they were much, much less expensive than us, much better values they had. Our dollar per minute, DPM, everything is measured dollar per minute on the shopping channel, was 235% better than the other more established brand. We went over the target. And, we got, of course, immediately then more airings confirmed. We now, after, seeing it now in Canada, we were thinking about, based on the feedback that we got from the people calling in, that climate is really news. Weather is news today. Something that people told me 10 years ago, which will never come, which I didn't believe. Every American today is very concerned about what's going on. We were talking about the farmers with the floodings. People are aware now of skin cancer, UV light, and it's just really a different world. So this is also what's most convincing. I actually, because nobody believes in before and after anymore, which we drove home shopping in the 90s, now, the digital brands that go out and do whatever they want to, they have just really ruined the credibility of before and afters. So I used the product on one hand and not on the other hand. And, so I always show the result. I made the commitment on showing it on my own body so people know what they can expect. And actually, I'm surprised how successful this has become. I just show my hand on TV and it goes up. And we repeat it because we have like little things in our ears, and it's like, Ulli, put your hands up. Ulli, put your hands up. It's just, this is actually what is most convincing. So we were saying, what is if we bring this into American news programs in the morning? So then we went on a couple of the morning shows in climates in the United States that we are, considering now low-hanging fruits. Because there's such an extreme climate, everybody knows their skin is suffering, like here in Lake Tahoe, or in Tucson, or in Denver, or in Miami, because the humidity is crazy. And so I'm traveling like a crazy person, and I go on these shows. Next week I'm in Sacramento, New Mexico. I'm still going on all these things. And it has worked tremendously well. So I think so here's the case study. And I always take a case study that is very similar to all the other appearances we have. So we went on now 7, 8 times on different local markets. Our cost of acquiring a customer is $7.84. And we have only gone on these networks just once for 4 minutes, and I'm showing my hands. And still haven't done the media training yet, which I still have to do. And then the industry standard is $20. Our return on advertising spend is 6.46. So for every dollar we spend on the media to scripts, we get $6.46 back. The industry standard is between 1.5 and 2.5. It's a little bit lower in skincare because it's reoccurring. Our average order is $50.67. We were surprised that people buy multiple products right away. And we already haven't even sent them an email yet to reorder, because it's not even 2 weeks. We've already 30% of these customers from the June 25th show on Tucson have already reordered. So it has been very successful, to say the least. So now we were thinking, how do we going to scale it? And coming out of infomercial that drives retail, it's in my DNA that I want to do a self-funding advertising campaign. We never want to pay for the media. So that's just how, that's the DNA of direct-to-response. When you go on QVC, you don't pay for the media either. So we are not really people who like to pay for media. So we're looking for something that's going to fund this media for us. So we talked to Scripps, and because we were so successful, actually customers are calling into the network, to the local news programming and saying, thank you so much for putting the skincare on. I was always looking for something. So they saw engagement themselves. And so we came up with creating our own beauty segment now on the local news. And it's going to launch in 2 weeks. So we are very excited about it. The pilot will be running in Tucson. And it is called Beauty Forecast. Because when I was looking, when I found this white space in skincare, which is if you have anything to do with skincare, it's a hugely cluttered category with so many brands. The private labeling has completely destroyed it with, the indie beauty brands, where it's really the same product, just different packaging, different price points. We were able to put patents into place in the US and worldwide, and we were able to buy a lot of trademarks. And one of the Beauty Forecast, everything was available that you could put together with beauty and climate and weather. Nobody ever thought about it before. So we created now a new segment, Beauty Forecast, and for the first time, we will run every Monday at 10 o'clock. And the local meteorologist, so in this case, the blonde lady there, that's April Madison from KGUN 9, ABC in Tucson. She will actually do the first beauty forecast ever done in the United States. She will read the weather and will tell you, this is your UV level, this is your pollution, this is your humidity. And yeah, I have to wrap it up. But I want to say one thing, because when I build a lot of the celebrity brand, I built it one for Olivia Newton-John for breast health, and we actually then got together into business, and we have done a lot of things for breast cancer, and I have been involved in breast cancer and skin cancer because of it in the last couple of years, and I can tell you for certainty, when women stopped smoking in the 90s, it was not because of the research that it causes all kinds of cancer and diseases. The number one reason when women stopped smoking was because evidence came out that it wrinkles your skin. And so we know that beauty drives healthy behavior. And so we envision this beauty forecast to also help people make better decisions about their lifestyle in the climate. So this is going on. This is our next venture. So next time I will be able to report on this one. And because so many people ask me, special discount if you want to try Pour More, Mediapost's best friend forever. Thank you.
Ulli, that was great. Well, thank you for that. You've got to have some questions about this, because this is really interesting stuff. Any questions for Ulli?
They want their Bloody Marys, Steve.
I have a question.
There's a question in the
Just
back. There's a question back there. Yep.
Hi, Megan Craig from Empower. Loved your presentation. I love skincare, so it really resonated. I was curious, so knowing that the TV shopping channel is your primary driver, how much do you leverage influencers to also spread this message that you just said?
Not a lot. And the reason for that is that I haven't been convinced yet that they sell, to be honest. I think they're building their own audience. I don't know. I think they were somehow powerful when it came out, like 1.5 years ago or 2, but now everybody knows they are paid for. So I think they lost a lot of this power. I think influencer marketing works when you put 3,000 influencers at the same time and you launch a product like, L'Oreal did with Clinique, and I think it gave it a buzz. But I think for my brand, I'm just being more traditional because I really want to know what it's going to take. Once we're going to really put money behind media, we haven't done digital media yet, so that's going to be something we are moving into 2019 too. Jebit, which I met Steve in Austin. I met a couple of really great companies. They just built us Take the Quiz, so people can more easily, find what product is good for them. But I want to, we learned a lot about our brand in this process. First of all, I have to be the spokesperson, which was something I would have never guessed. We learned that because we're in the climate space, they look at us from a different lens. Our packaging, we had to change our paper packaging from recyclable paper to disposable paper and had to really prove on the website that it's 100% biodegradable because that consumer, we are in that climate space and they want to make sure we are not greenwashing, anything or using this in the wrong way. So it's a lot of different things that we learned in this last 1 year as we are trying to get ready to roll out in a big and meaningful way. So I tried to learn it before, to walk before you run.
Ulli, as always, this is fascinating stuff. Thank you so much. And Ulli, of course, will be here for the next couple